Dear friends, I welcome you to Social and Political Science class of class 7. The title of the chapter first is Democracy on Equality. In this chapter, let us focus on following themes: democracy, different types of government, and what is equality, forms of inequality, implementation of equality by government, and what are some of the challenges for democracy. Different types of government. Monarchy. A monarchy is a form of government in which a person, he can be king or queen or emperor, is the head of state for life. For example, Saudi Arabia and Yemen, they are the example for the monarchical kingdoms. The another form of government is a dictatorship. A dictatorship is an authoritarian form of government characterized by a single leader or group of leaders. Examples: Germany under Hitler, current day Myanmar, Pakistan under the rule of General Zia-ul Haq, etc. Military dictatorship. A military dictatorship is a form of government where the political power resides with the military. The dictator seizes the power from the ruling party or leader in a military coup. A dictator does not allow election to take place and bans all opposition parties. Democracy is another form of government. The word democracy is derived from the Greek word demokratia, means rule of the people. The word demos, which means people, and kratos, which means power or rule. So democracy can be defined as rule of the people or by their elected representatives under a free electoral system. Democracy also can be defined as the government by the people, sometimes directly and sometimes indirectly through their elected representatives. For example, India, the United States of America, etc. They have a democracy form of a government. The well-known definition of democracy is given by Abraham Lincoln. According to him, democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. What are the goals of democracy? The goal of a democracy is to bring about equality and secularism. The leaders of government hold power only temporarily. That is, as long as they enjoy the trust of the people. The people are free to criticize their elected representative. Justice and equality are the two pillars of democracy. Justice is to give each one what is due to him or her as a person. What is equality? Equality among people literally means a process where the gap and the difference between two people is minimized. This means that every Indian will get the same treatment in a court of law irrespective of caste, creed, sex, and religion. There are three factors through which equality can be measured in any society. First, political equality. In India, every citizen above the age of 18, irrespective of sex, region, and religion, is given the right to vote. This is called universal adult franchise. In other words, each adult member of the society has equal rights to choose their representative. Economic equality. All members of the society should have equal economic opportunities. All should be free and self-reliant in matters of earning their livelihood. Economic democracy also means absence of all exploitation, that is, workers should not be exploited by owners and peasants should not be exploited by landlords. Equal wages should be given for equal work. No distinction should be made between men and women. Other forms of inequality. The most common form of social inequality in India is the caste system. Most of the people living in urban areas would not believe that caste distinction exists even today. Because of social discrimination, they were not allowed to mingle with others. Some of them were not allowed even education or jobs and were forced to do menial work. Many social reformers have tried to end the discrimination in the society and have worked for the upliftment of the deprived sections of the society. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Dayananda Saraswati, Mahatma Gandhi, and many others worked hard to bring about social reforms. Such social reforms have resulted even to the formation of laws. In fact, Article 17 of the Indian Constitution abolishes untouchability, and its practice in any form is made an offence punishable under the law. Implementation of equality by the government. Midday meal scheme. One of the steps taken by the government to promote equality is the introduction of National Program of Nutritional Support to Primary Education, popularly known as Midday Meal Scheme. Tamil Nadu was the first state in India to introduce midday meal scheme, and in 2001 the Supreme Court asked all states governments to begin this program in their schools within 6 months. This program has had many positive effects. These include the fact that more poor children have begun enrolling and regularly attending school. The program also helps to reduce caste distinctions as children of both upper caste and lower caste have the meal together. It has also brought about a distinct social change. Women, particularly Dalit women and people from economically disadvantaged sections, have been employed as cooks and assistants. This, in a small way, helps in addressing gender and caste inequality. Issues of equality in other democracies. In many democratic countries around the world, the issue of equality continues to be the key issue around which communities struggle. In the United States of America, the African Americans were subjected to gross inequalities. After a long struggle and agitation against unequal laws and practices led by leaders such as Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King Jr., the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1964. by which discrimination on the basis of race, religion, or nationality was prohibited. Martin Luther King Jr. received the Nobel Peace Prize Award for leading the civil rights movement, agitation against unequal laws and practices that began in the USA in the year 1950. Rosa Parks' civil rights movement. Rosa Parks, an African American woman, on 1st December 1955, became instrumental in stirring an agitation against the discriminatory practices of the white-skinned. On the fateful day she was returning after a long and tiring day, she refused to give her seat to a white man. Dark-skinned were supposed to give seats to the fair-skinned in the bus. Her refusal started a huge agitation against the fair-skinned. This came to be known as Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibited discrimination on the ground of race, religion, color, and creed. Challenge for democracy. No country can be described as being completely democratic. There are always communities and individuals trying to expand the idea of democracy and push for a greater recognition of equality on existing as well as new issues.